So currently, I have only had the car since August of last year, so I'm coming up on my first year of owning it this year, but of course in Canada you can't drive it in the winter, so I haven't driven it that much. And this summer has sucked. This summer has been raining non-stop. So, some of the mods I have on my 370 right now. I have an Arc Performance Arc Grip exhaust. So I ordered my exhaust in what was still our winter time, ended up receiving it early spring, and I ended up installing it, I think, the day after I picked it up. I unpacked it the day I picked it up that night, and then installed it the next night. So aside from my exhaust that I have on my 370Z, I also did a very minor modification, which I really thought brought the look of the car alive. I put spacers on my car. Keep in mind I still have stock wheels and I still have stock tires, so I'm running everything the same there. I don't have suspension on the car. All that being said, I looked on the internet to figure out some spacing sizes, and it turns out I didn't buy the right size, but it ended up working out in the end. So I ended up purchasing a 25 mil and a 20 mil. My intent was going to be to put the 25 mil on the rear and the 20 mil on the front. However, that's not actually how it ended up working out. I ended up putting the 20 on the rear and the 25 mil on the front, strangely enough. Overall, super simple installation, didn't take much. I feel like anyone could really do it if you can take a tire off. And it really did change the look of the car. I'll attach a photo here. The wheels were really sucked in previously, and now they're perfectly in line with the fenders in my opinion. I do not get any rubbing or any issues with that aspect. I feel like, considering it's still stock in that sense, I'm really happy with the outcome of how it looks and the fact that you can just kind of make it look a little beefier without having to add a suspension modification. Obviously, I would like to do suspension in the future, but I'm not at that point yet, so for now this is a good alternative. It needs more low. Alright, so we're going to talk about some of the things that I want to do in the future to my 370Z. Some of the modifications that I think not only are going to wake it up horsepower-wise, but also make it look and sound a little bit better. So one of the first modifications I want to do is obviously I have the exhaust done, but I would like to also do some high-flow cats. One day I would like to do headers, but that is just not happening right now. But I would like to get the downpipe, test pipe, whatever it's called, with the high flow cats. I found one that I really like. It's got a 300 cell in it, something that I think I would enjoy, and it would also increase a little bit of my volume for my exhaust that is currently being cut out by those stock cats. I would also like to obviously one day get suspension for the Z. That is a little bit more of a pricey option, so it's not happening right now, but it is definitely something that I want to look into in the near future, maybe next year, if not sooner than that. I have BC Racing coilovers in my Altima. Maybe I'll do a little review on that whole thing a little bit later. But now that my BC Racing coilovers are better, I really do like them. So I'm torn right now as to whether I will get BC Racing coilovers or the HKS, because that's like Japan gold. So I'm not too sure which one I'm gonna go for. Obviously the BC is a little more inexpensive, but the HKS, like I said in my previous video with exhaust, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on either of those brands. If you have them in your Z, what do you like, what do you not like about them? Have you had any issues? Is there any sag out? It's my biggest issue that I had in my previous set, is that the rear end really did not have any stiffness. Did you have to get a Swift Spring upgrade with your BC coils? Was it a mandatory requirement? Do you have HKS? Is there anything you've had to do to those springs or those coilovers in general? Let me know what the ride's like. Let me know what you think. So another modification I'm looking into for my 370Z is I would like to do, obviously, aftermarket air intake system. It just would let the car breathe so much better, and Who likes the little stupid stock boxes? It just looks so stupid. There's so much potential in that engine bay. That's one of the first things that I fell in love with that car, is I saw those dual intakes and they were beautiful. So what I'm looking into doing, I've heard a lot about the Gen 3 Stillen intakes. Some people love them, some people don't. I'm really not wanting to put them in my bumper if I can avoid it. I understand it's colder air, that's all fine and dandy, but kind of want to see them. I know that performance-wise, that who cares if you can see them, but I kind of want to see them. So what I'm looking into right now is potentially a custom fabricated air intake. We'll see. I know that it's not going to be cheap to get something custom fab for this car, especially since you don't just need one, you need two. But I think that it would really be something different and unique, and something that I would really like. Like I said, it's one of the first things that I fell in love with the car. Why wouldn't I do something super cool and different with it? So I'm looking at potentially getting some titanium pieces, some titanium shrouding made, and potentially titanium pipe. But I'm not too sure how that's gonna look. That might be a lot more of a project than I'm willing to take on. So we'll have to kind of see what happens with that. What else do I want to do with my Z? So many choices. Turbos? Yeah, probably not turbos anytime soon. That's just, wow. Rear mounted turbo? Again, wow, no. Obviously, I'd like to get some new wheels and tires. I have a wheel already in mind, and I have a specific tire in mind, although I'm not too sure how it's going to work on the Z because it is a little bit stiffer of a tire. It's not super soft. I do go through tires quite a bit since I do a bit of highway driving, so I found a tire that works really well for my other car, but this car obviously has a lot more power, so I don't know how well it's going to work for this car, but maybe we'll try it out. Maybe we'll see how it works. I don't want to be braking free all the time, so I don't know. But anyways, I think that's about it for now. Obviously, I have a lot of plans and ambitions for the car that exceed what I've talked about in this video, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I just want to keep it to some of the basics for now, and then we'll go from there. If you guys have any modifications that you've done to your Z that you really liked, or any big improvements that you found, let me know what they are. If you have any thoughts on what I'm gonna do to my car, let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll go from there too. As always, thanks for the follow, thanks for the appreciated likes and watches, and I just really appreciate all you guys just stopping in and taking a look at the channel. Okay, thanks guys, bye.